Every hero walks two worlds. One built on law, rank, and ceremony. One built on promises, grudges, and the weight of your own name. Between the river and the hall, between order and freedom, a hidden world begins to breathe.
If only I could go to the Jianghu and learn martial arts, I'd be able to take him for sure.
Uncle Jiang, when will you finally let me go out there?
The Jianghu?
Yeah, those merchants passing through Jianghu told me all kinds of things. It sounds so fun!
This is Jianghu. Not a place on the map, but a world built by the people who refuse to live inside the lines. And today, we are stepping into that world. Hey, what's up, good fam? I'm Billy and welcome back to the show. In the last episode, we talked about Wuxia, the code of Wuxia, their ability, and who created this legendary genre. But that's only half the puzzle. As promised in the last video, we are going to uncover the other half. The world in which those heroes live, a world that doesn't follow Imperial law, but its own code. And that is Jianghu. Besides, I'm also going to reveal a super iconic sect you have definitely heard of, but it doesn't show up in Where Winds Meet. So make sure you watch all the way to the end. Knowing what Wuxia means is just the start. To truly understand Chinese hero storytelling, you need to understand Jianghu, the social world behind every blade. And here's the biggest misunderstanding. Jianghu is not a physical place that you can point to on a map. It's not a province, not a city, and it's definitely not some hidden locations in Where Winds Meet waiting to be discovered. In Chinese, Jiang means river, and Hu means lake. But why river and lake? That is because in ancient Chinese culture, rivers and lakes represented wild, open spaces beyond government or imperial control. Places where wanderers, outcasts, and rebels live. Over time, the term became a metaphor for a world outside the rules of normal society. But to understand what Jianghu truly stands for, you need to see what it stands against. That opposite world is called Miaotang, or as many of you may have heard it, Chaoting. In English, both usually translate to the imperial court or royal. But in Chinese, the difference in meaning is huge. And this is where the beauty of Chinese characters really shows. If you understand Chinese characters, I think you will agree with me on this. Chaoting points to government and administration. Miaotang, literally meaning temple hall, carries a much deeper meaning. And this contrast isn't something we are inventing today. Back in Song Dynasty, the famous scholar Fan Zhongyan wrote in Yueyang Tower, "When one stands high in the Miaotang, one worries for the people. When one lives among Jianghu, one worries for the ruler." At here, Miaotang and Jianghu aren't enemies. They are two opposing positions, two sides of responsibilities and moral duty. One operates from within the system, the other stands outside it. But both are concerned with the fate of the world. So why would a government be described like a temple? That is because in ancient China, politics didn't begin in offices or parliaments. Power lived in ritual spaces, temples, ancestral halls, and sacred architecture. And here's something important to clarify. What you are about to hear describes how most dynasties and emperors operated, not every ruler without exception. In ancient China, people believed real authority came from heaven. The emperors were called the sons of heaven, 天子. To rule wasn't just to govern people, but to act as heaven's representative on earth. This belief was known as the mandate of heaven, 天命所归. If an emperor ruled well, heaven showed approval through good harvest, gentle weather, and peace. But if he ruled poorly, heaven withdrew its support through flood, famines, or even rebellion. So when people say the Miaotang, they didn't just imagine a normal government office. They imagined a sacred political authority. It operates through laws, ranks, officials, paperwork, and the loyalty to the state. Now here's an important clarification. Jianghu was not automatically anti-government. In the Wuxia world, many heroes cooperated with the Imperial court. Some served it, some protected it. In classic Wuxia stories, like the legend of the Condor heroes, figures like Guo Jing, the Beggar clan, and the Quanzhen Taoists worked alongside the Imperial court to defend the land against invading Mongol armies. Others like Wei Xiaobao from the Deer and the Cauldron live between two worlds, the Qing Imperial court and the rebel Heaven and Earth society. Neither fully righteous nor fully corrupt. So Jianghu isn't about rebellion, it's about moral choice. And that's why the true tension in Wuxia is rarely a demon king or a dark overlord. The real tension is between personal conscience and institutional order. So here's a question for you. If you live in that world, would you choose the stability and obedience of Miaotang, or the freedom and romance Jianghu that comes with consequences? Let us know your choice in the comments. But before you type, don't forget our dear friends once said,
江湖，人人都想去江湖，可江河湖海里，人人都想上岸。
Now that we understand Miaotang, the Imperial Court, the laws, and how justice works inside the system, let's talk about what happens outside that system. Because not everyone trusted Imperial justice, and certainly not everyone could survive by following the rules. And that's where Jianghu begins. There's a famous saying in Wuxia stories, 江湖事，江湖了. That means Jianghu matters are settled within Jianghu. No officials, no courts, no appeals. If you choose to live in Jianghu, you gotta accept one thing. You are responsible for your own justice, consequences, and reputation. This is why Jianghu feels dangerous, but also strangely fair. No one protects you, but no one controls you either. In the previous video, we got over 800 comments. Thank you for the support, and we really love the energy and the discussion happening in this channel. While reading the comments, Billy noticed one question kept coming up. Are Wulin, or what some Korean viewers call it Murim, the same thing as Jianghu? So let me clear this up. Wulin, or Murim, refers specifically to the martial arts world, fighter, sect, and combat hierarchy. Wulin is part of Jianghu, but Jianghu is a much broader world made out of different social networks beyond martial artists. The first one is of course the martial artists, the Wuxia fighter, sect, lone wanderers, and challengers who create the most visible conflicts. Then doctors and healers. Every Wuxia world has legendary physicians that treat wounds others can't, and often know secrets no one else does. The third one will be the beggar networks. They look powerless, but they see everything. In Jingyong Wuxia universe, the beggar clan is the largest sect for a reason. They control rumors, track movements, and spread news faster than any sword can travel. In Jianghu, the people you overlook often know the most. The fourth one will be monks and Taoists. They walk between worlds, spiritual, political, and martial. Some avoid violence, others are terrifying fighters. Next, the escort agencies. This is an interesting one. Think of them as professional bodyguards and security contractors of Jianghu. They protect people and valuable goods while traveling through dangerous territory. Bandits, assassins, rival sect, you name it. There are many famous Wuxia heroes began their journey as escorts, earning reputation through protection, not duels. The sixth one will be assassins. They don't fight for honors, they fight for contracts. Silent, efficient, and feared by everyone. The last one will be the merchants and innkeepers. They don't fight, they observe. Inns and markets are where everyone passes through. Heroes, assassin, escort, basically everyone. They know who arrived last night, who left too fast, and who is lying about their name. Keep this in mind. In Jianghu, the sharpest weapon isn't always a blade. Sometimes it's information. This is the Jianghu network built by its people. That's why it makes Jianghu feels alive, reactive, and dangerous. Because everyone plays a role, even if they never draw a sword. Jianghu has no written law, but it has memory. If you save someone's life, that death may follow you forever. If you kill the wrong person, their sect may hunt you for generations. This is why reputation matters more than strength. You don't fight enemies, you inherit their history. And this brings us to something important. In a world without official law, without centralized justice, without enforcement, something has to hold Jianghu together, act as a moral reference point. And if you know Wuxia well enough, you might already notice something missing in where winds meet. There is one name, one sect, one pillar of Jianghu that almost every Wuxia world is built around. So before we finish talking about Jianghu, let's talk about the presence that gives this chaotic world its balance. The Shaolin. Even though Shaolin doesn't appear in the game, it plays a very critical role in the moral and cultural foundation of Jianghu. It's one of the pillars that shape how Wuxia stories work. And since we are already deep into this topic, let's use this chance to talk about why Shaolin matters so much. So gamers, when you heard about Shaolin, what do you usually think of? Monks doing kung fu, breaking bricks, or looking cool in memes? But inside Jianghu, it plays a very different role. Shaolin is one of the righteous pillars of the martial art world. They represent discipline, morality, spiritual practice, and martial excellence. They are respected, reverenced, sometimes criticized, but their existence cannot be ignored in the martial art world. These are the four core roles that Shaolin plays within Jianghu. The first one will be moral authority. The Shaolin have been seen as guardian of justice. When corruption spreads, people look to Shaolin to uphold righteousness. Their stance can calm conflicts, end feuds, or even force powerful clans to back down. Second one, a massive martial art lineage. Shaolin holds more than hundreds of martial art techniques, from hard body conditioning to internal energy training to legendary techniques passed down for centuries. Shaolin martial arts shaped the foundation of Jianghu combat as we know it. The third one, semi-neutral political position. Shaolin tries to avoid picking sides, but Jianghu politics always drags them in. Because when you are powerful and everyone respects you, everyone also wants something from you. The last one, Shaolin is also a place for transformation. Joining Shaolin often equals rebirth. Leaving Shaolin equals to identity crisis. Characters who shave their head or walk into the temple usually do so because of guilt, trauma, or a failed love. So yeah, Shaolin is not just a place to learn Kung Fu, it is a place to rebuild your soul. Quick Shaolin summary before we wrap up. In Wuxia stories, Shaolin is rarely the main character, but their existence shapes the entire morality of Jianghu. They are the reference point of society. If Shaolin approves, it's justice. If Shaolin condemns, it's disgrace. Of course, this applies to most cases. There are also stories of fallen monks and corruption within Shaolin itself. We'll save that deeper discussion for another video next time. Even though Where Winds Meet doesn't feature Shaolin at the moment, knowing its roles in Jianghu fills in the cultural gap that the game doesn't show on screen. Because in Chinese storytelling, a Jianghu without Shaolin feels like wind without direction. So now you know, Jianghu isn't just about Wulin and Kung Fu. It is a world built on choice. A world where law doesn't always protect you, but reputation follows you everywhere. Where justice isn't decided in a courtroom, but by the weight of your actions. And that's why once you truly understand Jianghu, games like Where Winds Meet or even other Wuxia games would reveal a deeper layer. Because you are no longer just playing a character, you are choosing where you stand, who you side with, and what kind of name you leave behind. And before we end today's episode, if you have stayed with us all the way to the end, we actually have a small surprise for you. With Christmas and the New Year just around the corner, we wanted to say thank you for supporting Game Goat for the discussion, the comments, and for exploring Wuxia and Jianghu with us. So we are doing a holiday giveaway. We have prepared 5 sets of $20 gaming gift card as a small token of appreciation. Winners can choose to redeem Steam or PlayStation gift card to purchase a new mount or upgrade your appearance in Where Winds Meet. To join the giveaway, please CLSS, comment, like, share, and subscribe to our channel. We want you to tell us what topic to break down next. Another wuxia concept, a different Chinese genre, or a deeper dive into Where Winds Meet? We will be reading all of them. We will announce the giveaway winner on 29 December, right here in the pinned comment of this video, so make sure you check back. Thank you very much for watching, guys. We wish you all Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. See you in the next episode. Billy's out.